Hi, I'm really excited to continue our discussion on the three houses. First, I think maybe we should answer a question that I get a lot, and that is if there really is a God, a divine spirit, a creator, and they really are benevolent and good, then why do bad things happen? And the best explanation I've heard is the words of Carl Jung. He was one time asked, what is the importance of psychology? As we discussed before, psychology is the study of the psyche or the soul, the human nature. Other words in the Greek definition are heart or mind. Now you might say, well, heart and mind, that's two different things. I think we can sometimes get confused thinking that our brain is what we use to decide things with. And really, our mind is in our heart. It's in our feeling center. For example, there is a word in the English called worship. War meaning power, and ship meaning a vehicle. So when we say worship, we're saying this is what the vehicle that we put our power into. For example, when we go to buy something, we don't really buy things that we think we like. We buy things that we feel that we like. This is kind of like a subconscious action. And that's what Carl Jung was talking about. He seemed to believe that we really are not enough aware of the conditions of the human nature, of psychology. And he believed that the only danger that exists is humanity itself. Humanity is the great danger, and we are pitifully unaware of its workings, which is obviously a subconscious action. If what we worship or what we put our energy into is how we feel about it. Now, you may say, well, what does that have to do with external factors? Like, for example, my neighbor chopping down all these trees and building a house, or a hurricane coming in and blowing down a city. Well, the interesting thing about the human condition is that whatever we put our energy into becomes our reality. So we are actually have the ability to create our reality through what we put our energy into, or our emotions, or our thoughts, which become our actions. There's a really interesting example of this. There was a therapist by the name of Dr. Hugh Lin, who was over a psychiatric ward of mentally ill criminals. He actually cured the entire ward through the use of 4 very powerful phrases. Those phrases, would you like to know what they are? They are, I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. Now, you may recognize these as the healing modality from Hawaii, Opono. I might be saying that wrong, but the point is, even when we say it in English, it has a very powerful change in our emotional structure. And that's what happened. And the interesting thing is when he would do this emotional cleansing, he wasn't projecting it onto the patients. He would read their charts. He would read about the patients, and he would process the emotions in himself. He would cleanse out the emotions that he felt, whether it was anger, frustration, sadness, grief. He would process those emotions that came up inside of him, and he would cleanse those out through this very powerful modality. And by the end, the entire ward was closed because all of the patients were cured of their mental illness.